Oh my god, did you see? He just walks up and blasted him point blank. I know, it's awesome. Excuse me, have you seen this man? I'm sure you've heard of the CEO, but his killer is still out there, and if you have any information that'll help us... I don't know what you're talking about. I have never seen that man in my life. Sir, please. Matter of fact, we have to find him. He's still out there. He's armed and dangerous. He could strike again. Imagine what CEO could be next. What if it's Elon Musk?
Yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Yeah.
They stepped over his body and started the meeting on time. He was in Manhattan at 7 a.m. for an 8 a.m. investor meeting. He got in front of the main doors to the building of the investor meeting. They could have had this shit on Zoom. Instead, they had to be there in person. Why they had to be there in person? Because we need to make sure commercial real estate is flourishing. He got by an assassin with a silencer while he wore a jacket thinking about PowerPoint presentations on how he is returning value to shareholders by denying healthcare to moms with breast cancer. And he got caught in the street, and they stepped over his body. Those investors that he was working for, the shareholders that he held dear as a CEO, they stepped over his pool of blood. They kicked the shell casings that led to the end of his life down the street because the meeting still had to start on time. These companies don't give a fuck about nobody. He's the CEO, the chief executive officer of a healthcare company. They fucking didn't even check to see if he still had a pulse. They just wanted to check the stock price, which, mind you, went up 2.5% when they found out his ass was dead. Do less at work.
Okay, so the CEO of United Healthcare was unalived. Unfortunately, my thoughts and prayers are out of network, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I give a fuck. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. There were more J-Lo concert tour tickets sold than fucks that I give about that man. He was a person. No, bitch, he was a billionaire who got his money from the deaths of other people. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You can't make me give a fuck. A picture and description were recently released of the suspected shooter, and I'm not going to lie, that man is fine as fuck, okay? Lethal in more ways than one. You know... My issue with this entire thing is the officer who was giving the description of the suspect called him a light-skinned male. I'm finding it. Do you know how harmful that fucking language is? That is a white man. That man is rice-skinned. That is a mayo muncher. That is a pimple pus person. Where the fuck is the light-skinned man? This is the photo of the suspected shooter. That damn smirk. This is the man that they're trying to say is light-skinned. Is the light skin in the room with us? Like, please be so fucking for real. That shit pisses me off so bad because they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know the harm that it'll cause, and they don't give a fuck. They just never take a break with the bullshit, and I'm just over it. It's so fucking... Y'all are losers. Y'all are fucking losers. Hope this happens. Peace and love.
I saw an anchor talking about the CEO of United Healthcare being murdered and was like, no one knows the motivations. I can guess. I don't think you need Sherlock for this one. I think it's pretty... I think the motivations are easy.
Not he needed his morning coffee too. He just like the rest of us. If anything, this is a caffeine addiction conversation right now. I guess that is a task you would not want to be uncaffeinated for. But I just keep thinking about the baristas he talked to that day. And then I keep thinking about that bystander. I'm gonna talk about the bystander first. I watched the video. I did. I know people would be against it. My bad, y'all. But as the, walks up, he sees the bystander and makes it. I don't know. I'm not in his head, but he decided to still do his job. And you could tell he was never going to go after the bystander, assess that risk, and didn't even look really behind him when the bystander gets up and runs. He was like, you're going to stay alive, but you're going to live with this trauma. The baristas, what was his order? Was he making small talk in the lobby? Did he hold the door open for people? Because obviously, I guess he wouldn't want to bring attention to himself, but stopping for coffee in general before you go ahead and
It's really funny watching the police, law enforcement do a fear-mongering campaign trying to draw up, oh my God, a murderer is on the loose type of stuff to get people to be on high alert, as if any of us regular people on the street are diabolically evil CEOs whose life or death decisions determine the lives and deaths of millions of people, and have a history of choosing the death decisions just to line our pockets with more cash. That's not me. That's not me and you, right? I have no fear. If I see that man on the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Wouldn't remember a thing. Why is that, you may ask? Well, he hit his mark. He hit his target. Mission for him was accomplished. So you're condoning, I am just saying. Why is it my problem that one CEO is murdered and there are 100 million legitimate suspects with verifiable motives in this investigation? No, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about a murderer running rampant, running loose. He had a grocery list and he checked that box off.
So I took CEO out of my LinkedIn bio. No reason in particular. I didn't want nobody to get the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? I heard that CEOs have 30 minutes, child. So mind you, the only employee I have is myself. But I didn't want no confusion, because after what happened the other day outside the hotel to United Healthcare CEO, that's crazy. But what's even crazier is right after that, I read a headline saying that another insurance company is gonna stop giving anesthesia for the full time. So they're only going to cover it up to a certain time. And I'm confused because I want to know, if you're the CEO of that company, you ain't see the news? No funny shit. You ain't see what happened to your colleague? You ain't see how within 30 minutes they had started the meeting on time, stepped over his body, had his emails forwarded, and had his job posted on LinkedIn within the hour? I don't know. Y'all might want to rethink that anesthesia thing.
You hear about that CEO in New York? Did I hear about the CEO in New York? Please. I feel like most people are like on the same page about it, but I've seen so many people be like, I can't believe we're condoning violence. Violence is never the answer and murder is wrong, full stop. And I'm like, okay, but if you're the CEO of a company that's responsible for the suffering of millions of Americans a year and the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans a year, you're a violent man. Just because you're not shooting 45,000 people a year doesn't mean you're not engaged in the violence. Like, just because you don't have blood on your hands doesn't mean you don't have blood on your hands. You know what I mean? And also, why does the murder only ever get to go in one direction? If I can reference the good Reverend Doctor for a second, it reminds me of him talking about white moderates' obsession with negative peace over positive peace, and negative peace being the absence of tension and positive peace being the presence of justice. And so if tens of thousands of Americans are dying sort of quietly behind closed doors, there's a certain kind of peace there because society can continue on without tension. But someone getting shot on the sidewalk, well, that's certainly not the absence of tension, but to my eyes, looked a lot like the presence of justice. That makes sense. Do you think they're gonna catch him? No. Not with that blurry ass CCTV footage from behind with his face covered. No, the NYPD released a photo of his face uncovered. You didn't see it? What? Can I say something?
The United Healthcare CEO dying is tragic and horrible. In fact, let's take a look at some of the other horrible things that have happened to people. Last year, 2 elderly people insured by United died. They were denied life-saving coverage by United because the company used an AI model with a 90% error rate to determine the claim. A college student insured by United racked up $2 million in medical debt to treat a severe medical issue. He said the company intentionally ignored a report that said this treatment was medically necessary. A man's $140,000 heart surgery wasn't covered by United at all because they said that he used a type of injection that wasn't medically necessary. He didn't even use it. Patients recovering from strokes and falls, often elderly, were denied nursing care from United and were often only covered for half the time needed to recover. Now, United's claim denial rate is one of the highest in the industry at 32%. An insurance company's biggest expense is what it pays out in claims. If it denies more claims, it pays out less, and then it gets to keep more profits. Now keep that in mind when I tell you that United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is one of the highest paid CEOs in the industry, taking home about $10 million last year. So It is sad that this poor man cannot spend his $10 million. Sad that a man who achieved the American dream by causing thousands of Americans to die each year from preventable causes because of a lack of health insurance coverage, it's sad that he got shot. What does that say about society? That nobody who makes money off of people dying is safe anymore? If we want change, we must nicely ask for it. Just like when we nicely ask for health coverage and it gets denied. On a serious note, it is morally wrong to celebrate the death of someone. But we also have a moral responsibility with our one life on this earth to look out for each other and to care for each other. If someone doesn't do that and they lose their life...
I saw the United Healthcare CEO was taken out and I was going to give my condolences, but then I remembered that my mom and dad's chemotherapy alone is $50,000 a month. So my condolences are out of service.
Deny, depose, defend. If that isn't a loud, clear message to all these CEOs across the board of these health insurance companies, I don't know what is. Because there is a meaning. Deny, obviously, being the denial of a surgery or the denial of a claim to save this person's family member's life. Depose, short for deposition, which you will need to file in order to defend this life-saving surgery that your family member needs. And I hope, CEOs, I hope that you are really listening to the message that's been sent, because the greed that you pick over humanity is disgusting. It's completely deplorable. And I don't know about all of you, but for me, my compassion has gone completely out the window. To the CEO that has been recently pew-pewed down, I mean, if you make millions upon millions upon millions of dollars off the backs of other people's suffering and pain and possibly even their deaths, then the only thing that I have to say in regards to his passing is thoughts and pre-existing conditions.
That man that got unalived, that CEO for the United Healthcare thing in America, it was planned. It was planned. It wasn't someone just pulled up and basically unalived that man. It was planned, and somebody paid whoever that person was to do it. Number one, the person who did it is a professional because they had a silencer on that rifle. And number two, he knew when the man was going to get there at the specific time at the specific hotel. Whoever unalived that man was hired to do so. Now, I did a bit of digging, right? Because I don't know much about health insurance because I don't pay that shit. I live in England. Healthcare is free, right? But I heard that in America, a lot of these big insurance companies where people insure themselves, whenever something happens to that person and they are seeking cover, 9 times out of 10, these insurance companies are denying their claim and they have to sue for their claim, for their coverage, which is costing them even more money. So this is how apparently a lot of insurance companies make money, because they're not paying out, the claims that people are claiming back. So obviously, apparently they said that on the bullet, it was some words that says denied, dispose, whatever. And that is in connection to these things because obviously, you have to sue for your claim. People are getting fed the fuck up. And somebody, maybe it was that man's grandma, they played his grandma and he put 3 rounds in you. That man also is a professional because I saw on the footage, he walked off calmly after he did it. Meaning that man has done that before. Them CEOs need to be careful, babe.
Oh, that's terrible.
You seem kind of psyched.
No, I'm bummed.
Smash.
Susie.
Wait, what was the game? Smash or pass?
Deny, defend, and depose was engraved in the bullets that got the CEO of a major healthcare company up out of here. And hate to say it, hope it don't sound ridiculous. Sorry to that man's family, but I don't give a fuck. About time some of this shit goddamn happened. Because the way that the healthcare systems treat regular ass people, it's finna be a whole lot of John Q situations happening in this motherfucker, if you know what I mean. Because imagine being on your deathbed and the doctor comes in and said, yeah, his coverage doesn't cover the surgery. What? I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for him. He didn't feel bad when he was denying people's coverage and claims and things. Do you know that a lot of people in this country die simply because of them being poor? Not being able to afford coverage, not being able to afford to go to the doctor to make sure that they can get checked out. Having all these pre-existing conditions, having all of these things. People die for no reason in this country. Mind you, we're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. People die for no reason. So I don't care. I can tell you this. This incident happening is not going to be in a vacuum. This is not going to be an isolated event. As a matter of fact, I think this is going to spark some ideas. But also, this event happening is really just inevitable because they've pushed and pushed and pushed us to our wits' end. And considering for the next 4 years, the regime we're finna be under, some of them better watch their back. For legal reasons, I'm not advocating for any violence. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just stating what I know to be true based on history. A tired people can be a dangerous people. I ain't gonna lie, that was some B613 level bullshit that I seen, bitch. Did you see the way he cocked that bitch back and got him again? Ouch! Just for the other CEOs to walk over that nigga body and continue the meeting anyway. They said, yeah, who else want to be CEO? Nigga gone. Fuck. But anyways, I'm going to use this whole scenario to basically give you guys another policy I would implement if I was to become president. Because y'all already know I would be the best president y'all ever had. Okay. As a society, as Americans, I think it's safe to say that we're never really going to be ready to let go of that capitalism for real, for real. But as the president, I will make it unconstitutional for certain institutions to be ran for profit. One of those institutions being healthcare. Okay, so when I become president, I will make it unconstitutional for people to charge for healthcare for procedures, things of that nature that are non-voluntary. So if you want to get your titties done, baby, you're gonna have to pay for that, okay? But if you got a cough, you ain't got to pay for that.
The CEO of the United Healthcare was unalived in a broad daylight at around 7 a.m. and the reactions Americans are giving online, oh my god. I've spent almost all my day in the comment section because people are celebrating the death of Brian Thompson. Wow. Imagine, I'm gonna read for you some of the comments because it's wild. The dark humor in the social media is just sparkling outrage. My insurance doesn't cover vision, so I didn't see this coming. This is a comment from someone. Like, seriously. Then this person again was saying, moment, I want to read for you this because it's just crazy how people are reacting to the death of this. Being an adult is realizing it's not okay to unalive the CEO of health insurance company. That one was someone's comment. Then I feel sympathy for his loved ones, but that's about where my coverage ends. Like, seriously? Then we may not have wanted it to happen, but we are not required to feel bad that it did. Eat the rich. Guys, how was this CEO? Why are people celebrating the death of this man? Because I'm not getting it. Americans, please explain to me because things are getting out of hand. Again, someone is saying that I submitted a claim for my condolences, but it got denied. Oh my god. This person is saying, dude had it coming. 32% of their claims are denied to help them make billions. Billions of the weakest among us. And this been any other time in history, we would have cheered as his dead head rolled. Like, you wanted this man's head to roll after Pew Pew? I stopped opening my letters from the United Healthcare Open one today for fun. It said the financial decision was they denied my claim and I owe $9,900. So I don't know what the other 200 letters say. Don't care either. These are some of the comments that people wrote on the social media following the death of this CEO. Someone is saying that my Kiva dam authorization submission was denied and I refuse to appeal the decision. My company has united and I opted way out. Another person said that my lawyers asked me not to make any funny reaction about the death of this CEO. I was to post for you that video, but my bad, there was a music, so I don't want any copyright claim on my channel. And someone is saying that's and deductibles. I'm yet to find out how this CEO was. Guys, let me know in the comment section because things are getting out of hand. Someone is saying that I'm still waiting on my give a damn authorization to get approved. I think it will be hard to find a court that will convict him. Then I knew something was coming. My emotions only cover friends and family I care about. It's up to us to show the government and people we ain't messing around anyone. And literally just said this to my husband. I can't see anything either. Someone else typed this for me. I'm reading for you the comments of people. Someone also said that I'm going to need a third level appeal to approve my condolences. Hey! Health insurance cost me $12,000 grand in premiums. Then I get to pay the whole doctor's bill without having insurance pay for anything. Tell me, how is insurance good for me? That one was a comment from someone. My metal knee needs therapy. Wonder if it will be covered by Healthy Blue now. And again, what's the controversy with the Healthy Blue insurance company? Let me know, because the comments I'm seeing from people, I've never seen people celebrating someone's death like this. Oh my god, this is insane. Someone said that why does it cost so much to take care of myself? It should be free or at minimum cost. And why didn't they get him hammer dead? Oh my god, I submitted a claim for empathy, still waiting to hear back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Call me Helen Keller. Still waiting on my hearing aids to be covered, and vision, I didn't see it coming due to my deductibles being so high. Guys, I can't read all of these comments because I spent almost all my day reading comments and laughing because I've never seen people celebrating someone's death like this. Was he a very bad CEO, or there was something behind his death? Because people are saying his death wasn't that normal. It was planned and even stage managed. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the death of this CEO. Thank you so much, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. I send my condolences to his family. Until next time, guys, bye bye for now.